Hello, welcome back. Before I pulled any cards, as I tend to do, I tried to just tap into the energy and see what was coming up. And the first thing that came up was I was seeing water, flowing water, and so the word flow was coming to mind. Roses also were coming up, and I was hearing the phrase, "You can't see the forest through the trees." So we'll see how that comes up in the reading, but I wanted to address those things first. Okay. I will say right off the bat, the water and flow thing makes sense to me because I'm seeing a lot of water here in the cards. Even the ones that are not directly associated with water, like the Eight of Wands, for example. You can see that there is a body of water here, and as well as the Two of Swords. And then we also had Two Cups cards come out. There was the Queen of Cups at the back of the deck. And at one point, as I was shuffling the cards, the Two of Cups was at the back of the deck. And I pulled it out and set it aside because the Two of Cups just keeps coming out in these readings, and it felt significant. It didn't fall out with the other cards, but it showed up and I couldn't ignore it because it keeps coming up in these readings. So I set that aside. I don't know yet if it's going to directly tie into the message, but we'll see. Okay. So the cards that came out, first we have Judgment, and then we had the Devil, and then we had the Five of Pentacles. And then, like I said, we had the Queen of Cups on the back of the deck, the Two of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Wands. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, and I'm still getting my bearings here. But the first thing that's coming to mind is, sorry, I need to rearrange these because this arrangement is not correct. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. The fact that the arrangement is, it matters. It's significant. Okay. So I believe the Devil was the first card that came out when I was shuffling. I don't know that the order really matters, but I felt the need to say that. So I think a big theme here is feeling restriction. And I want to say right now that I feel like the arrangement of the cards here matters because we have the Hierophant underneath the Devil, the way that I arranged these cards here. And that makes me think that there's some way in which you're feeling constrained by tradition or constrained by expectations placed on you by some sort of institution. This could be a religious institution. This could be a part of the culture you live within. Whatever it may be for you, there's some way in which you're feeling constrained by tradition or institution. And with Judgment here, it feels to me like you're feeling this calling to something, and that's what you feel. That's where you're feeling this constraint. And again, with the arrangement of the cards here, we have the Two of Swords underneath the Judgment card. And that makes me feel like you're feeling a lot of indecision about following this calling and pursuing it because it doesn't feel like you're allowed to. The Eight of Wands being here feels especially significant to me because, and maybe the last reading that I posted is for you and maybe it wasn't, but I feel the need to say that in that reading, I had like taken note of the fact that the Eight of Wands was right behind the card that was at the back of the deck, and I don't normally take note of that. And so it didn't really play into that reading, but I happened to just like pick up the card at the back of the deck to see what was behind it, and it was the Eight of Wands, and I made note of it because it felt relevant somehow, and now it's coming out here, so I think that's really interesting. I feel like I need more information about this Five of Pentacles. I'm gonna set aside the Queen of Cups and shuffle some more cards, and also the Knight of Cups is behind the Queen of Cups. Don't know if that's relevant. Okay. We have the High Priestess at the back of the deck now. Your intuition is really strongly calling you to whatever this calling is. Wow, we have the Ace of Cups, Three of Swords, and something fell out on the floor. Four of Pentacles. What do we make of this? Sorry, I need to just like move these cards around. Normally, Pentacles makes me think of something material, something tangible. But in this case, I'm not really reading it that way, and I think that's why I was having a hard time reading the Five of Pentacles here. Because the way I would normally read it is not really making sense in this context, and what I really feel is that, especially with the Four of Pentacles coming out now to clarify the Five, you're afraid of being abandoned by your community, your family, losing your support system if you were to pursue this calling that you're feeling drawn to. And so there's a part of you that is holding on really tightly to what you have now because you're afraid of losing it. And that's what's making it hard for you to decide what the right direction is for you to take in terms of pursuing this calling or not. And then with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords coming out together, there's so much here, it's like hard for me to put it into words, and I'm gonna try my best, but it's like you're torn between something that would break your heart and something that would be deeply fulfilling to you emotionally. And it's also kind of like you're afraid that pursuing this deep emotional fulfillment would cause this heartbreak. I guess this is something I'm doing now, is just checking what card is behind the card at the back of the deck, because I never used to do that, but now I'm finding myself doing it a lot. I'm seeing the Four of Swords behind the High Priestess, and that's making me think that something that is going to be really helpful for you right now is taking some time alone, some time to rest and reflect, and just quiet the noise around you, because the noise is making it really hard for you to make this decision that you're struggling to make right now. The Eight of Wands is rapid forward movement and progress, particularly toward a goal, it feels like. I think this calling that you're feeling drawn toward is it feels like a thing that's going to help you achieve some sort of goal that you've had, that you've held close for a really long time, something that would be deeply emotionally fulfilling. But you're just so afraid to go in that direction because you're unsure of what's going to happen, and you're afraid of what might happen if you do. It's like you're afraid of being rejected, abandoned. Ultimately, I see you going toward this calling, especially because we have the Queen of Cups here and all these other Cups cards, especially the Ace of Cups. And because I was hearing the word flow at the beginning of the reading, it's giving an energy of going with the flow. Wherever your energy is leading you, you are going with it. The Queen of Cups is highly emotionally intelligent, and what this brings to mind for me is you know what it is you want. Your spirit, your soul is not afraid to go for it, to go toward what it is you want. but your ego is so afraid, and it's making it really hard for you to listen to your spirit at this time. But I do think ultimately your spirit is going to win this struggle. Because first we had the Queen of Cups at the back of the deck, and then we had the High Priestess at the back of the deck. This is your intuition. This is your deep knowing. This is your subconscious. Ultimately, you know what you want. You know what you want, and you know where you want to go. And it may be really scary to go there and to pursue this calling, not knowing what's going to happen if you do. I keep looking back at the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords. And it just feels like if you were to walk away from this Ace of Cups, if you were to close the door on this calling, it would just absolutely break your heart. This is really heavy. I can feel the heaviness, and I can feel how difficult this decision is to make. So for one thing, I want to validate that. I want to validate that this is not easy. What you're experiencing right now is not easy. The decision you have to make is not simple. It's not about just getting over the fear and doing it anyway. There's a lot to consider. And maybe the fear that you're feeling is coming from a very real and valid place. But I do think ultimately risking that outcome, facing that fear in order to get this will be highly worth it. I want to pull a couple more cards to finish out this reading, and I want to get some encouragement because I feel like we really need that right now. Whoa. At the back of the deck, we have the Empress, which also came out at the back of the deck, I believe, in the last reading. So that's interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Okay. I'm feeling lighter already. This Five of Pentacles that you're afraid of, you know, this being left out in the cold, this abandonment, this rejection, loss of community even, loss of a support system. Is nothing compared to the abundance and support and safety and security awaiting you if you pursue this calling. The Queen of Cups is so solid. The Queen of Cups is taken care of. The Queen of Cups takes care of herself. And that's not to say that you will be left alone to care for yourself by yourself. I think there will be a lot of support around you. But it's support that you feel secure and safe in. It's support that you can trust. It's not conditional. The support system you have now, the community you have now, it is conditional. It feels very conditional. That's why you feel like if you're to follow your heart and pursue this calling, you might be rejected. You might be abandoned. Unconditional love, unconditional support does not abandon you for pursuing what your heart is calling you toward. So it's like, if you pursue this calling, if you go in the direction your heart is calling you toward, you're swapping out conditional support, conditional community for unconditional love, unconditional support, and solid, secure community. And there's also recognition here. I want to say soul recognition. That's the word that's coming to mind. It feels like the community you're finding and building around you through this pursuit is allowing you to be seen for who you really are and be appreciated for that person. The Six of Wands shows me people rallying around you and raising you up in a way that you've never experienced before. It's certainly in a way you're not experiencing now. So as much as you fear the potential abandonment or rejection, it looks to me like there is so much abundance and support and security awaiting you if you do pursue this calling. Initially, it might be really scary and it might hurt. But it's not going to hurt forever. It's not going to be scary forever. It's actually going to be very, very joyful. Ace of Cups once again. And we haven't really addressed the Two of Cups here, but I think there is a possibility that you pursuing this calling and finding this community, it's like a new community to you. It feels like this is something that could potentially draw you closer to a sort of soulmate connection with someone, a partnership with someone that is something you've been really wanting. There's a lot of really fulfilling connection down that path of pursuing that calling. Fulfilling connection and also just deep emotional fulfillment. It's going to feel like this is the life you should have been living all along. Any support, any love that asks you to stay the same, stay in one place, and follow certain rules in order to earn it is not the kind of love and support you want. And I think you can you will be getting the support and love that you want if you go down the path of pursuing this calling. And I think that is all the message I have for you today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I really hope this gave you something you needed. If it did, give this video a like and subscribe, and let me know how this resonated. Because this felt like such a specific message. I don't know who it was for. It's kind of unlike other messages that have been coming out recently. So let me know how this resonated for you, if it did. And yeah. I love you. I wish you all the best. And I hope to see you again very soon.